Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you can hear me, please drop a comment in the comment section. All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you all so much for joining us at the first webinar. We'll be starting at exactly 1 p.m. Thank you. All right, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever it is you're joining us from. Thank you for being here today at the first webinar put together by Zest for the year 2024. Now, today's topic is centered around how to plan your business finances right in 2024. And like I said, it is the first webinar of the year, so it is safe to say Happy New Year. My name is Maya Wajoja, and I work at Zest as the Customer Support Associate. And we know Zest is a platform orchestrator connecting businesses and lifestyle to payments through multi-railed platforms, e-commerce, and value-added services. So it is the first webinar of the year 2024, and it promises to be an exciting time, a time of learning, relearning, unlearning, and keeping us in track and on the right path with respect to planning our finances for our businesses in the year 2024. So today we have two industry experts who will join us today, and it's a great opportunity for us to learn from their wealth of knowledge and experience and expertise. And one thing I would advise is that you should get your keypads ready, get your notebooks ready, get your phones ready to take down nuggets because they're going to be sharing a lot today. Today's topic is how to plan your business finances right in 2024. Practical tips for businesses of all sizes. I know how Nigerians have unanimously agreed that this year's theme is no good for anybody. It's the same way Zest is letting you know that we are concerned about you and your business this year. We're concerned about your finances this year and ensuring that it thrives. And that is why we've put together today's topic, which is how to plan your business finances right in 2024. There's this saying that proper preparation prevents poor performance. And to run a successful business in 2024, starting right is the most important tip. And this is such a great opportunity for us to start out right with our business finances in the year 2024. Like I said earlier on, we'll be having two industry experts joining us today who will be sharing from their wealth of knowledge. And also we'll have a Q&A session at the end of today's webinar. So if you have questions, please do not hesitate to drop them in the comment section, and as the event progresses, we take your questions most definitely. Thank you everybody for joining us once again. For wherever you're joining us from, you're welcome. It's great to have you join us today. So we have two speakers. The first is Oluwatobi Benson, who is the Vice President of Finance and Value Management at Zest. And we also have Oladamola Gidado, who is a business and product ops manager. And today it's such a good day because we're going to be learning from them. They're going to share with us practical tips. It's going to be an opportunity for us to learn, relearn, and unlearn. And the goal is for us at Zest to equip you with the financial nuggets that you need to make smarter businesses and smarter business decisions. So all right, so everyone who's joined us, I want to say thank you for being here today and welcome. And if you're joining us just now, we just wanted to say thank you and you're welcome once again. So very quickly, we're moving on to our first speaker for today, just to let you know that if you have questions as the event progresses and as the webinar progresses, please do not hesitate to drop it in the comment section. So our first speaker for today is Oluwatobi Benson, and she's a finance professional with over 9 years experience that cuts across different expertise such as regulatory reporting, financial reporting, consolidation, budgeting, due diligence, financial management, and business performance management. She's a chartered accountant, a member of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountant, ACCA. She has worked across several organizations like First Bank, Interspeech Nigeria, and she is currently the Vice President, Finance and Value Management at Zest. So she's going to be our first speaker today, and she's going to be speaking on the topic, how to plan your business finances right in 2024. She's going to share with us practical tips for businesses of all sizes, and also she's going to be joined later on in the course of today's webinar by our second speaker, Oladamola. So you have the floor, Toby. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayowa. Thank you for the introduction. I couldn't help but smile. Thank you. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm super excited about this topic, and I trust that this will be worth our while. Maya, can you please confirm you can hear me?
Yes, I
All
can hear
right.
you.
All right. Thank you very much. So, I'm going to start by saying that if you want to achieve something, the first thing you should do is planning. So, this afternoon, I'll be talking to us about business planning. I'll be talking about strategies to increase our revenue. I'll be talking about cost management. I'll talk about profitability and liquidity, and then we can wrap it up from there. So, let's start with planning. As usual, I'm sure we're all familiar with this saying that says that he who doesn't plan plans to fail. So for every goal that you have, you must always plan. So the starting point, if you have not done that already, you need to do that urgently. The starting point is to assess your current business. Where are you right now, and where do you want to go? So you need to create a strategic plan. And when it comes to planning, experts advise that you have your long-term plan, medium-term plan, and then your short-term plan. Now, for your long-term plan, where do you see your business in the next 10 years? Now, break this down into medium-term plan to say, okay, in the next 5 years, I expect my business to be here. Now, when you have that 5-year view of your business, you then cascade it into yearly actions. So what action do I need to take today to take my business to that desired position I want it to be at least in the next 5 years? And that's why in finance, we always say that you need to create a business plan. You need to put numbers around this. So I want to have, we always say that you should create a smart business plan. That is something, a plan that is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So don't just say things like, oh, I want to have a big business. Say things like, I want my business to be valued at 100 million in the next 5 years. Then begin to take action today as to where you want that business to be. So, for example, in 2024, what is that specific, what's that smart goal that you have? I want to earn revenue of 12 million by December 2024. That is a smart goal because you know what you're working towards and you have a time frame to when you want to achieve this. So if you tell yourself, I want to achieve 12 million revenue this year, what it simply means is that every month you must have revenue of at least 1 million naira, right? So 1 million naira monthly from January to December is 12 million. So in a month where you have total sales of 500,000, it means that in February you need to double up, right? You need to double up so you can make up for last month's shortfall and meet up with your target. So that those are practical ways of helping you achieve your business goal. And these are things that we need to take seriously because these are the same things that business organizations do and they achieve their goal. So if an organization has achieved their goal through this means before, trust me, no matter the level or size of your business, you can also achieve this. Now, as you start this year, if you haven't done a budget, you need to do that urgently. In our last communication to our client, to our merchants, there was a simple template that was attached. You can use that to create a budget for yourself. So, you just need to write down how many units of for example, for my revenue, what do you want to earn? Then you must also check out what you did in the previous year, that's 2023. So for example, in 2023, you have told yourself, you've looked at your books and you have a total revenue of 10 million naira, for example. Then question is, what do I want to do this year? Of course, you want to make more money. So I don't expect you to make the same 10 million naira revenue. So you can tell yourself that, oh, I want to increase my revenue by 50%, right? So that's just, it means that for 2024, your target is to achieve total revenue of 15 million. So you must have targets that you set for yourself and break it down into monthly goals. So that is one thing that we must do, because if you don't know where you're going, then everywhere seems like a bus stop. Any goal you achieve seems like what you want to achieve when you're actually far from your desire. So I'm going to move on to, so if you use that template, you don't just follow the template as to what you expect as your revenue, what is your direct cost attributable to this revenue, then you have your gross margin, then you also know what your business expenses are. You need to write everything down so you have an idea of how much you're going to earn, how much you're going to spend, and what your profit would look like at the end of the period. So please take your budgeting very seriously. You can also use free resources online. For example, you can use Google Sheets. I mean, most of us have Gmail address. You can create a budget for yourself, something that is easy for you to track. So that's one activity that we must take seriously. Now let's talk about revenue. How do you want to grow your revenue this year? There are different approaches. I'm just going to share about 5-6 tips with us. So the first thing I'll mention is that you need to focus on market penetration, right? So you already have a particular set of people you are supplying or you're servicing. Market penetration just involves you selling to more people in the same market. For example, today I sell to 50 customers. So market penetration will mean that, oh, let me increase my customer base to 100. Because if I sell 1,000 units of these items to 50 people, if I sell the same 1,000 units to 100 people, that means I make more revenue, right? So that is market penetration in a simple explanation. We also have market development. So market development means selling your existing product to new markets. So for example, in market development, the idea is, oh, I have 50 clients before, I want to move on to sell to 100 or 200 clients. That's market development. Now, when it comes to that's market penetration. When it comes to market development, you want to look at new areas you can sell to. You want to look out for customers in new locations. For example, if your customers are currently in Lagos, then you should consider expanding to other parts of the country. You can service your clients, you can sell to people in Ogun State or all over Nigeria. And depending on your product, who says you can't sell outside the country, right? The world is now a global village, so you don't need to be confined to your current location to help you achieve your targets, right? So that's market development for you. So question is, if you want to reach out to more people without necessarily being there physically, what do you need to do? You need to sell online. So if your business is not online today, trust me, you're shortchanging yourself. And if you are listening on this right now, you have an amazing platform you can use to sell for free. I'm sure you've heard about our storefronts, which allows you to showcase all of your products online for free. You've also heard about our marketplace, where you can basically have your products listed there, and when customer comes to this marketplace, they can buy from you. So those are platforms that you can leverage to help you develop, reach out to more people to sell your products. If you are online, I'm sure every one of us here have a social media account. With your storefront link, you can actually, for example, put a link on Instagram. So when a potential client goes to your Instagram page, they can go to your profile, click on the link and shop. That's one way where you can actually make money at every point in time. Imagine when you go to bed and then the next morning you wake up to credit alert. This can only be possible if you sell online, and that's why we have this free storefront for you. So this is something that you should leverage on. If you don't have a storefront account right now, please, you need to create one for yourself as soon as possible. Now, the next strategy you should use in increasing your revenue is also to use offers and discounts, right? So use offers and discounts to attract more customers. So for example, if you're selling 1 unit of shampoo before, you can actually offer your customer to say, oh, buy 3 units of shampoo and you get this free gift, right? Everybody wants something for free. When you create offers and discounts, trust me, your sale is going to increase. Is going to help your customers take their buying decision on time, right? They like the product, but they haven't made up their mind when to buy or not. Once you introduce an offer to them, once you have an offer that is time bound, trust me, they are going to take on that offer immediately, and you have a guarantee to increase your revenue. Now, also leverage on festive activities. For example, Valentine is coming, Easter is coming, Salah is coming. Those are peak periods that you do not want to miss in your business. So if you do not already have offers or discounts that you offer your customer, you need to start thinking about it now. Remember, we talked about planning, right? So you need to start planning for your Valentine sales. You need to start planning for your Easter sales. Whatever offers you want to give, if you want to give free gifts, if you want to reduce prices, start thinking about it now. Do the calculation. Do not just give offers that will make you go into a loss position. You also need to be profitable. So you need to start doing your maths now, so that by the time it's Valentine, first week in February, you can roll out your offers and start doing your marketing. And that's one way you can guarantee your sales during this period. Now, this next strategy you also need to use to increase your revenue is to upsell and cross-sell. Now, upsell, for example, let's use somebody selling skincare products, for example. So this particular person, you've been selling this particular type of maybe cleanser and toner to them, and then you can always upsell by telling them more about buying a complete set. Oh, hi Mayowa, I noticed that you always buy this cleanser and toner for me. Do you know that when you buy this eye cream, when you buy this serum, you're going to have a more beautiful face? You're going to have a more flawless skin, right? That's upselling. They still need all of these products in their skincare routine, right? That's upselling. Now, cross-selling is selling something else that they might need. For example, using the skincare vendor as an example, this particular customer, Mayowa in this case, buys skincare products from you, and then you tell Mayowa that, well, I can just tell Mayowa that, Mayowa, do you know that I also have lovely fragrance that's going to help you smell nice, right? Before now, she's just my customer for cleanser and toner, but I also want her to buy my perfume. I want her to buy my lipstick. They're all in the same family of products. So that's upselling and cross-selling for you. So that's another strategy that you can use to increase your revenue. More importantly is that you need to ask for referrals, right? You are just one person away from your next big customers, right? You might not know everybody in the world, but you are connected to almost everybody by the next person you meet. So I can always tell Mayowa, I see that you always buy this cleanser because you like it a lot. Could you please refer me to 2 or 3 of your friends that would love this product, right? Obviously, because Mayowa is my customer, she's my friend, she will look into her network and look at, 1 or 2 contacts she can share. Like, okay, reach out to this person, reach out to the next person, and then you can land your next big customer. So please do not ignore the power of referrals. And then I'll also talk about maintaining a vibrant sales pipeline, right? You need to generate leads a lot. Most of the reason why small businesses feel stuck at some point in their business is that they do not have new customers buying from them, right? Let's go back to our example of what is your budget for the year. This year, I want to sell products worth 10 million naira. It means that you need to constantly generate new leads. Leads are people that have interest in your products, right? You need to constantly generate leads at every point in time. And the value of these leads should be 3x your budget. What does that mean? My budget is 10 million naira. The value of my leads, that's the value of all my prospects, the potential products they can buy from me, should be at least 30 million naira. When it comes to sales pipeline is actually a journey that customer goes through to buy from you. If I want to sell to Mayowa today, if I want to sell this phone to Mayowa today, it is not the first time that I tell Mayowa about the phone that she's going to buy it. I would need to have multiple sales calls. Expert says that you need at least 4 or 5 sales calls before Mayowa will make that buying decision. So the first time I go to Mayowa, I say, oh, Mayowa, come and see this beautiful phone. You like it, the camera is lovely, it has storage space, it's compact and all of that. And Mayowa says, oh, okay, I hear you. Then I come back to Mayowa again, following up on my conversation. You see, I cannot rely on Mayowa alone to help me achieve 10 million naira. I must have different Mayowas that I'm talking to. So on a daily basis, I talk to 10 Mayowa. Tomorrow, I talk to another 10 Mayowa. Next tomorrow, I talk to another 10 Mayowa. And you need to have a record of all your leads so that you do not lose track of who you are following up with. Again, use free resources online like Google Sheets. Just document, okay, today, January 1, I spoke to Mayowa about this phone. Tomorrow, I spoke to Mr. A. Next tomorrow, I spoke with Mr. B. Just document it. Now, as your conversation progress, some Mayowas would eventually buy from me, right? So your sales funnel, everybody is at the top, just like the shape of the funnel, everybody is at the top. And as I engage them, some of them will begin to drop. Those people drop into the bottom of the funnel are the people buying from me. Those are my actual customers. So again, if I want to sell products worth 10 million naira, I must have people valued at about 30 million naira asking about my product that I'm talking to. It is very, very important. If you have an active pipeline list, trust me, you're not going to feel stuck at any point in time about your revenue targets. You just break it down and work systematically. By mid-year, when you track your performance, you would see that, okay, I am on track or I need to take more action. And that's where performance tracking also comes. So it is not enough for you to say, I want to sell 10 million naira. You also need to track your activity. You need to track your performance. Not all activity will translate to revenue, but if you focus on income producing activities, trust me, your revenue is almost guaranteed if you take these actions consistently. So on a monthly and on a quarterly basis, you need to check on what you're doing, on your activities. Okay, by March 30, I should have sold products worth 30 million naira. When you track your performance and you see that you've only sold products worth 12 million naira, it means you need to be more aggressive. It means you need to change your action plan. If you are talking to 10 Mayowas a day, by Q2 next quarter, it means you need to talk to 30 Mayowas in a day so you can guarantee your sale. So those are the actions and strategy that you need to take to help you achieve your, improve and increase your revenue consistently. Now, that's a bit about revenue. Let's talk about cost management. So your revenue is growing. Your plan is to grow your revenue by 50%. Please don't allow your cost to grow by 50%. Otherwise, you'll be in a loss position. So if your revenue is growing by 50%, your cost should not grow more than 20%. So you need to manage your costs. You need to optimize your cost, right? So the first thing is that you need to track and analyze your cost. One of the pitfalls to small businesses is that they don't keep track of their costs. They are just spending. So you don't know what you're spending on. You don't know what to cut. You don't know what to improve on and all. So you need to track and analyze your costs, right? If you are using a free sheet like a Google Sheet, you can have all your costs on a monthly basis. Remember, you have a budget. You have written down all the things that you expect to spend on. At the end of January, you need to look at your cost. Okay, I plan to spend a total of 1 million naira on costs. I ended up spending 1.5 million naira. Why? Why did I spend the extra 500,000? You need to ask yourself. If it's something that is not necessary, then you know that you need to manage your cost appropriately so it doesn't repeat itself in February. But if you have a plan to spend 1 million naira in a month and you ended up spending 800,000 naira, yes, that's fine. But you also need to check, what did I spend this money on? Was it that I was able to negotiate on some deals better, or there are some costs I omitted? There might be important costs that is necessary for revenue. So you also need to track and analyze your cost appropriately. Now you need to reduce your overhead. By overhead, I mean your expenses. Analyze your costs into the costs that I absolutely need to incur and the costs that are not necessary. There are some costs that you definitely incur. You have your rent, you have electricity, you have your phone bills, data, you're posting online. Obviously, you need to buy data and all of that. But it is very important that you keep track and you know what you're spending on. Any cost that is not necessary, any cost that is not required, you don't need to spend it. Please take it out so that you don't end up bloating your costs unnecessarily. Now, let's talk about inventory for people that sell products. Inventory here means stock of products. It can actually be products that you are reselling, or it can be stock of products you're reselling, or it could be items you need to use to produce your main product. For example, if you're a baker, you would have flour, yeast, milk, and all of that in your store. Now, inventory management is something that you need to take seriously. Do not overstock on items. If you overstock on items, you'll be tying down a lot of funds, right? You risk there's a chance that some of these products might go bad. For example, if you buy a lot of flour and then you don't have orders, you don't use it on time, it's possible that it gets spoiled. Now, if you don't manage this order appropriately, you will also be paying on space, on money. Obviously, you're keeping it in a particular location, you pay rent on that space, and also having the right amount of inventory is very, very important. Know your reorder level. If you're, for example, you're selling shampoo, you have 100 units of shampoo in your store, you already know what you're selling. So by the time the shampoo number of shampoo gets to 50, for example, you should start planning to buy another set of 100 shampoo, so that you don't get to a situation where you don't have any shampoo in store to sell, and then you are not in a position where you have just 1,000 shampoo sitting down doing nothing. Now you need to have, excuse me, you need to have a good relationship with your supplier also. So there's no lag between the time in which you order for items and the time in which you get it. That way you are sure that your inventory level is adequate at every point in time, and you are not holding too much of, you're not tying down too much of product, right? Now, I'll also talk about investing in your resources. So if you're a company that has 2 to 3 staff or 5 staff, you must, have the right staff doing the job, right? So what does this entail? You need to ensure that the staff you're working with, they have the right skill, right? They have the right skill, they are happy, you have to train them, you have to pay them well. If your staff is not happy doing the work, trust me, it's going to impact your revenue, right? They are not happy coming to work. They are not giving good customer service to your clients. Before you know what's happening, your clients begins to dwindle, your client base begins to reduce, orders are reducing, and you don't know why. It's because the people working with you are not happy. The people working with you are not giving out their best. So for you to manage your cost around salaries and compensation, you must ensure that you have the right kind of staff working with you. You must train your staff. If you hire a new staff today, just train them and ensure that they have the right knowledge. Because if you have high staff turnover, that is, you keep having new staff joining the organization, it will take time for them to understand the process, understand what they do before they start giving you value. But when you have the right staff base, the right talent, right, and they understand what they need to do, trust me, it is going to help your business move faster. And now, if you're someone that you are a one-man business, you are the only one, just you in your business, what you need to do is to train yourself, go for trainings, right? That's how you can improve on yourself. For example, I'm the only staff pushing my business. It means that I need to do trainings on sales and marketing. I need to learn how to sell online. Remember, we talked about storefront. You need to learn how to drive traffic to your storefront, right? So invest in yourself, go for training so that you are also right for your business. And if you're a one-man business, please do not fall into this trap of spending directly from your business. Pay yourself a salary. Your business is a separate entity and you're different. So don't spend directly from the business. At the end of the month, pay yourself a salary, and maybe at the end of the year, when the business is profitable, you can actually pay yourself dividend. So that's that on, on cost management. So let me move on quickly to talk about profitability and liquidity. Profitability is a measure of total returns you made in your business, right? It's just simple. My revenue minus cost. Oh, my revenue is 10,000 naira. All my cost is 6,000 naira. So my profit is 4,000. If I make 4,000 profit for 100 days, that's 4,000 times 100, and that's my profit. So profitability is good because that's one of the goals that we set for ourselves this year as a business owner. You want to be profitable. It is good. But please, you must also be liquid. Liquid means that you must also have cash flow. It's one thing for you to sell product of 100,000 naira. It's another thing for you to receive your money from your customers. I noticed that a lot of small business, sometimes it feels like they're scared to follow up with their customers to pay. Sometimes they feel like they don't want to disturb their customer. Please, as long as you are giving value, you have the right to ask for payments, right? You're not in for charity. It's a business, right? What you can do is give credit terms. So liquidity is very, very important to keep your business moving. If at the end of the year, you tell yourself, I have total profit of 25 million, but you don't have at least 20 million cash to pay dividend or even to stock up for the next year, how will you grow? A business that does not have funds is more likely to die faster. So it's not just about being profitable, you have to be liquid. So you have to balance the two. And how do you do this? You must ensure prompt collection of cash, right? You can give your customer credit terms. So for example, if you supply, let's assume you supply a supermarket cupcakes every month, you can actually give them 30 days to make payments, right? So I supply to X supermarket on the 1st of January. The expectation is that by 30th of January, I should receive my 500,000 naira, right? So once you supply, what you should do is that you must send out your invoice promptly, because Supermarket X is also going to process this payment. Supermarket X will not pay you immediately. It has to go through their internal process and then get approval for them to make payments. So you need to send your invoice promptly. If you deliver the product on the 1st of January, by 5th, on or before 5th of January, that's if you didn't go with your invoice at that point, latest 5th of January, you must have sent your invoice to Supermarket X, right? Once the invoice is sent, then you started counting, you're expecting your money. 10 days after, please do a follow-up call to Supermarket X. Hello, Mr. Manager, I am calling to follow up on the invoice that was submitted on 5th. Please confirm we're on track to receive payment by 30th of January. If there is any showstopper or roadblocker, Mr. X will tell you. Excuse me. For example, if there's a complaint, you say, oh, the cupcakes you delivered, you said you delivered 500, but we only counted 480. You need to update your invoice. So you need to make all of those corrections quickly and then resubmit invoice if required. But you see, that constant follow-up will help ensure that you receive your funds on time. Now, on the supply side, for a baker that gets flour, milk, butter from different vendors, what you need to do with your suppliers is to say, you need to give me credit limit. So when I collect flour from you, I'm going to pay, say in the next, give me 40 to 45 days to make payments, right? So you have sold to Supermarket X, you're expecting your money by January 30. You have collected flour from supplier X, you're expected to pay by February 15. So it means that by 31st of January, between 31st of January and February 14, you have some funds to play with. They would have paid you for the cakes. You will have that money to supply, to pay for your flour and all. So that's one way that you can use to manage your inventory, right? So liquidity management is very key. You need to be liquid in the short term and in the long run to help you sustain business operations. So you have funds to sort out your bills. And if you're a customer that has loan, you will also be able to service your loan, right? So let me quickly round up because I see my co-speaker is in already. So I'm going to round up by talking about basically managing funds properly. Right. So in the course of doing business, you'll be profitable, you will have spare funds in your bank account. Sometimes what can you do with these spare funds? If you have enough funds in your bank account doing nothing, don't just allow it to sit down in your current bank account because it's not going to generate interest for you. What you should do is, maybe invest in short-term investments, not long-term, because you will still need that money. So for example, you can approach your bank to say, okay, maybe fixed deposit, treasury bills and all of that. Just find something you can use that money to do that will generate interest for you in the short term. But please, I must warn, do not go for investment opportunities that promise ridiculous returns. You are going to get your hands burnt. If the investment opportunity is too good to be true, trust me, it is not true. So if you follow these tips consistently, trust me, you are going to grow your business and achieve your medium to long term goal in the long run. So Mayawa, I'll be handing over to you now.
All right. Thank you very much, Toby, for sharing from your wealth of experience and expertise. Like I said, today's topic is how to plan your business finances right in 2024. And we've heard from the first speaker, brilliant. She has given us tips, she has given us, very, very practical tips that we need to plan our business effectively in the year 2024. So, very quickly, we're moving on to our second speaker for today, Ola Damola Gidado. He is a seasoned professional specializing in business operations and product management. With a proven track record, he has successfully pioneered buy now, pay later initiatives, optimized business operations, and led strategic vendor acquisition strategies. He has worked across several organizations like Jumia, Carbon, Access Bank, and Softcom, and currently drives seller partnership at Amazon in their Europe market. So, right about now, I will be handing over to Damola. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome. All right, I think you're muted. You may need to unmute your mic.
Yep. All right, done. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, we can.
All right, thanks. Hi, Mayawa, and hi, Toby. Hi to all the participants from Zest and from around the world. So in short form, my name is Damola, but the full name is Oladamola Gidado, and I think I've been properly introduced by Mayawa. So I will just try to go into like my 2 cents for today. I believe my bio has been shared already in the invite, so let me just go straight to the point. So I'll be speaking about the best practices for e-commerce and online sellers, which is why we are all here today. Because in the process of taking care of our business, we have come up to Zest to register on either the storefront or we're listed on the e-commerce platform. And why have we done this? We've done this because we want to be able to grow revenue. But in as much as we want to grow a revenue, there are some basic best practices that we need to take into consideration. And one, I'll start with visibility. For you to be able to grow your revenue, you need to be visible. And you've taken the first step by creating a storefront or by listing on a marketplace. Now that you're there, you're accessible to the rest of the world through the World Wide Web. However, is this sufficient? This is just the first order criteria for those of you that like to solve mathematics. So the next level of participation that you need to do is, in case there is a promotion or there is a conversation, there's a campaign being done by the marketplace holder, it is very fair that you participate in those promotions or campaigns because this helps to amplify your reach and more people get to see your product and they see the services that you provide. Then also, we need to take into consideration personal visibility. So in as much as you're listed on a marketplace or you have a website, how much of these are you showcasing to your friends, family, and your foes? So we have different media from our WhatsApp pages to our Instagram accounts. Are these links embedded on these places? Because at the end of the day, you are the personal ambassador of your online store. So you have to walk the walk and you have to like talk the talk everywhere that you go and make sure that, hey, as much as you probably have a physical store, your online store is also being seen everywhere that you go. Then two, I'll move down to assortment. Your assortment is basically all the products that you've listed on your storefront. So for example, you have a physical store in Lagos Island or in Ikeja, and you sell baby clothes or stuff. Your store is filled up with baby clothes, but your online store just has about 5 baby clothes. You're not painting the right picture. You kind of look like a seller who doesn't have enough stock. If you have 500 physical clothes in your store and you just have 5 of them listed online, you aren't doing yourself enough justice. So as much as possible, upload every single thing that you have offline onto your online store so that customers see this and they're able to purchase. I could be a customer coming online to probably buy maybe a case for my Samsung phone, for example. I've come online to buy a case for my Samsung phone, but however, I have seen a charger for my Samsung phone that is a fast charge, which is something that everybody looks forward to have. So come online to buy a case, but I've seen a fast charger. There's every probability that I would also buy that. But I wouldn't have bought that if you hadn't listed it and shown me that, hey, I've also got this product. So making sure that you upload everything that you've got offline onto your online store is super important also. Then I would go right next into pricing, which is number 3. You have to ensure that your prices are competitive. So I haven't said you have to ensure that you're the lowest priced seller. No, you have to ensure that your prices are competitive, because at the end of the day, different sellers source for their goods from different places. Someone else might source for the goods directly from China and is able to like break the bulk and have a more competitive price compared to someone that is buying from a middleman. But however, make sure that your prices are competitive. I have seen cases where customers would purchase from a seller who is just 100 naira lower than the previous seller. And these days, people want value for every single naira that they do spend. So I would obviously do the same. I'm sure that you also do the same when you're pricing stuff in the open market. So the more competitive your price is, the more you're able to convert a sale. And for the number 4 point, I'll go into trust, which is super duper important. Over 90% of retail is being done offline today in Africa. Just about 10% of it is being done online. Some of the reasons for this number is due to the fact that, hey, the world was built on offline markets, so it's a steady transition onto online. Another reason today is due to like cultural behavior. We've seen people say, hey, they want to try out the item, they want to hold it, they want to feel it, they want to immerse themselves in the experience of the purchase. That's why today you would also see a lot of AIs and virtual realities whereby we kind of create an immersive environment whereby buyers are able to, in some form, relate with the product. Then when it comes to e-commerce and selling online, you need to be able to maintain this trust to ensure that, hey, you stick to your fulfillment promise and you stick to your delivery promise. So if you say, hey, goods will be delivered in 24 hours or in 48 hours, ensure that those 48 hours are exactly 48 hours. If those 48 hours are ever going to shift, it is best to proactively contact the customer saying, hey, there's been a thunderstorm or there is a probability for heavy rains tomorrow. And I can see from the weather report that it would probably storm in, let me pick a popular area. It will probably storm in VI. We all know that VI gets flooded when it rains. So we know that it will probably storm in VI. Your delivery is meant to come on Tuesday afternoon. Could you please expect this delivery by Wednesday morning? In this way, you have been able to calm the nerves of the buyer and they do not see you as a sham or as a scam. Another way is to ensure that you actually deliver what the customer has bought. Because we see a lot of cases of what I ordered versus what I got at the end of the day. Should you make the mistake of falling into this category once, this has a ripple effect on your brand and a ripple effect on your total revenue that you would get at the end of the day. So do not make the mistake of falling into this category because you probably just want to make a few extra bucks, knowing fully well that you could have sold a genuine product versus selling an a fake product. So with these 4 points, I think I've been able to summarize the seller journey or the seller experience for most of the e-commerce and online sellers today in Nigeria at large. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Damola, for sharing with us today. Thank you also, Toby, for sharing with us today. It has been such an insightful conversation. We've learned how to plan our business and finance, sorry, our business finances effectively in the year 2024. And Toby, when you were speaking, I was taking notes. You made quite a number of points about drawing up business plan, drawing up a budget, join up business plan and the likes, and even your targets. So whilst people are still preparing their questions to drop in the comment section, I have a question actually. Now, you know how Nigeria is kind of not stable in terms of the economy. Like the economy can be, not stable. And prices of things oftentimes fluctuate. They're not always static. Now, in drawing up a budget, how would you advise businesses to put that into consideration?
All right, thank you, Myra. So when you are drawing up your budget, you should also consider the macroeconomic condition. So, for example, inflation in Nigeria currently is about 28%. So it means that the flour you bought at 1,000 naira in December is likely going to increase. And we all know in Nigeria today, you go to the market today, price change, you go to the market tomorrow, price change. So as you're creating your budget, all of the prices you put, you should also try to factor in this cost. For example, the flour I bought it 10,000 naira, and I expect this price is going to go by say 30%. So I should be looking somewhere around 13,000 naira. That's what I'm going to document. Say, okay, this is how much I expect to buy it. In reality, if inflation comes down and prices of stuff comes down, you could actually buy it at 11,500. And then on the flip side, we could actually buy it 14,000 naira. That is why you need to have a plan. Now, when you have a plan, you need to track. I planned that I'm going to buy this flour at 13,500. I ended up buying it 15,000. Why? Okay, inflation is higher, exchange rates, naira is not appreciating, and so this is the reason why the price is higher. You just need to understand that price. So it doesn't feel like, oh, there's some form of lack or cheating or going on in there, or maybe some form of inflated invoice. You just need to be clear about why the prices are higher compared to what you had planned to buy it. That's the best you can do while trying to also see how you can bring down your prices. For example, we talked about managing inventory. There's a chance that if you buy more flour, you buy it cheaper. So you need to know your business for yourself. Do I want to buy more flour, tie funds down, but I'm not sure I will be able to make more cakes? Or am I sure that, yes, I will make 10,000 units of cupcakes, so I'm going to buy this quantity of flour so I can also leverage on the discount? Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Toby. So at this point, if you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section so that our speakers can address the questions. All right, so I have a question for Damola. You made mention of being able to take your business from your store and putting it online basically. I mean, let the number of products you have in your store, let it as much as possible match up to the number of products you have, online, so that people can even give your customers the opportunity to see bigger and to have a wider audience as to the number of products that you have, right? So I want to ask this question with respect to a customer, or rather in this case, a merchant who has probably had a bad reputation in terms of not delivering what was ordered, just not probably if you even check the person's rating online, it has not been the best. How would you advise this customer that okay, I can now, be on your platform, one, and then secondly, I can do better basically. Because I mean they've had most of their customers have complained, they've had bad experiences. So how can you advise such, a merchant?
Okay, thanks. So for situations whereby a merchant has negatively impacted their seller rating or their merchant rating on a store for XYZ reasons, and you probably have customers who have made some comments. When these comments are being treated and resolved, I think it's also fair for the merchant to go back to the comment and address it. So, hey, I ordered for an item on Monday that was promised to be delivered on Wednesday, but didn't come until the next Monday. The first step is to actually treat this problem. And after the problem has been treated, a comment is dropped there to say, hey, this has been closed. We apologize. And this was the reason why you had this experience. That's one. Secondly, for the merchant to do I say shake this debt off themselves and position themselves better, they now need to be able to one, increase or one, maintain the already existing delivery timelines, and two, supersede this. So a merchant could have a out of a 5-star rating, probably have a 2-star rating. But over the course of, let's say, 2 to 3 months, they can decide to say, hey, we're taking our rating from 2-star to 4 stars. And this would help change the narrative for them.
All right, thank you
I,
very much, Ola.
yeah.
So I have a question here from you from our guest. It says, regarding visibility, does putting a face to the business help with seeding trust, especially for small business owners? So this question is directed at you, Damola.
Yep. So putting a face to the business, this kind of, I would say this depends on the kind of business you are running. So one, if you're running an e-commerce business and you're selling tangible items, from different categories, from electronics to healthcare to fashion and all of that. All you basically need is to list your products clearly on the e-commerce site or on your storefront. Make sure that the products are well titled, well labeled. The pictures are nice. We know the difference between a picture that was probably taken with a Samsung S23 Ultra versus a picture that was taken with a Samsung S6. So all these things actually speak for your product and speak for your brand, speaks for your online store. For this kind of business, you do not need your face out there as a brand to push the product. The products already speak for themselves. However, if you are probably selling a lifestyle product, e.g., you're selling something along the shores of travels and tours, you're probably selling travel packages to people. That's the way I can say, yeah, you could use your face as a brand because you probably want to show yourself during a lifestyle holiday to Morocco, to Zanzibar, or to anywhere else. So people see how you're experiencing this. But if you're selling tangible items, your products kind of already speak for you. The way you describe them, the way you take the pictures, people come to the store and they actually go to they go to the marketplace and they look for this particular seller exactly, and they say that this is who they want to buy from.
All right. Thank you very much, Damola. Okay. So if you have any other questions, please drop in the comment section. We can take a few just before we wrap up for today. It's also a great opportunity to let you know that Zest offers e-commerce platform. So we have our storefront, we have our marketplace. You can always upload your product on the storefront and then it will be reflected on the marketplace, which gives you, your product much more visibility. So it's a great opportunity for you to take advantage of Zest e-commerce platform. So I have a request here for the template which Toby earlier mentioned. There was a template she mentioned earlier on in the conversation. Yes, a free budgeting template. Okay, so that will be shared across. And if you have any other questions, or before we wrap up, please don't hesitate to drop it in the comment section. I want to say thank you very much to our speakers, Toby and Damola, for sharing with us, the tips, the nuggets that we need to plan business finances efficiently in the year 2024. I believe that with all of the points they have made mention of today, we are going to not only just take up this point, we're also going to run with it during the course of this year to ensure that if everyone wants to have a better financial record in the year 2024 compared to last year. That's the goal for every business. So I believe that today's webinar has been worth our time. It has been a great opportunity for us to learn, been a great opportunity for us to relearn and unlearn. So in the absence of any other question, we'll be wrapping up very shortly. I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined us so far from the beginning, and those who even joined us, in between and joined us towards the end of today's event. It has been an amazing time so far. We appreciate your time. We don't take it for granted. And also we appreciate your contributions. They have been very, very essential in ensuring that today's webinar has been to ensure that today's webinar has been great so far. Also, just to let you know that this is the first webinar put together by Zest, and in the course of the year, we'll most likely have other webinars. So it's a good time for you to follow us on our social media platforms at Zest Webinar across social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Thread. You can follow us on Instagram across all social media platforms with okay, yes. So you can follow us on social media with the handle Zest Payment across all social media platforms. You can also visit our website, which is www.zestpayment.com. It's a great opportunity for you to also onboard as a merchant, and you can take good opportunity of the Zest platform, Zest e-commerce platform especially, and you can put your product, and you have a wider audience to sell to. So with that, thank you everyone for joining us once again. It has been a great webinar, and my name once again is Maya Wadroja. It has been an amazing time serving as your host for today. Until the next webinar, see you and bye-bye.
Right, bye.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for having me. Bye.